Welcome to the Nova Syneidesis. If you are new to the channel, I strongly suggest you do not start from here. Rather, please use the provided linkage where the proper guidance is given. Otherwise, welcome back and I hope I can still be of service. Idea from Oxford Dictionary on 2017 of the Christian era. As a known in philosophy. In Platonic thought, an eternally existing pattern of which individual things in any class are imperfect copies. In Kantian thought, a concept of pure reason, not empirically based in experience. I would say the ideas would be the basic principles embedded in the mind, a virtual mechanism over which consciousness is built. They would be shapeless, as no entity is required to achieve a perception of them. They would give basis for the concepts through which perception of reality can be attained. Plato appears to have proposed the ideas as unreal prime entities from which all real entities originate. The average person tends to absorb this definition on some sort of mystic background, as the ideas themselves were on a self-sufficient and superior plane of existence of some sort, in intersection with an inferior material reality, which would be a mere projection. It seems to me that it makes sense only as a fantasy to allow a glimpse of it. It must be observed that an idea, as defined so far, would be shapeless. If it requires an entity to be perceived, it's most likely a concept. To perceive an idea is an actual challenge. There are many tools built through history with which we have been trying to reach a greater understanding. I might try to delve into them later, but for a short and shallow understanding at this first moment, it seems that they can be glanced upon, whilst intersecting similar concepts. An example. A flower might be called beautiful just as much as the sunset in the majority of the cultures known to me. Although they are different entities, we can implement the ideal of beauty over both of them. If we intersect our perception of beauty through all that's called beautiful, we might reach closer to understanding the ideal of beauty, which by itself do not necessarily converge into a physical perception to be glanced upon. One important aspect to be pointed at is that the ideas as defined here, and in opposition to the more mystic thought, is not something apart from consciousness or of a different realm of reality, but rather is contained into the mind and reflects from everything. The ideas would not be a source of all things realm, but a causal structure from which the mind and the consciousness arose. Radically simplifying what has been presented so far, an idea would be a component of consciousness and of the utmost level of intangibility. They will not be anything supernatural of any kind, but a feature developed into the mind. If we manage to envision, depict, and filter all mind's structures, we would acquire a collection of elements, being these elements the ideas, and being each element kind contained on every mind, the most basic common ground to all minds. I am considering this to be one of the most basic parts of this work. It will be required to understand all upcoming concepts, and later a travel back might be made, so we can explore some ideas themselves. Was this worthy of your appraisal? Thought it useful? Would you please hit the like button and share it so others can also seize benefit from it? Thank you.